Hi, my name is Bronwyn Spain, and I'm the new owner of Cottage Hill. If you haven't heard, I purchased Cottage Hill and Editor's course from Katie Selvage in September of this year. For the past 6 years, I have been building, designing, and growing a venue business known as Spain Ranch in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I met Katie through this business, and about 3 years ago, I started thinking that I would love to have a national wedding publication, and I just really was waiting for a sign to make that happen. And fast forward to August of this year, I had just gotten on the phone with my attorney friend, Paige, and we were talking about just different things in business that she was doing for me with Spain Ranch. And I threw in at the very end, I said, "Hey Paige, remind me again what it takes to do an LLC with you. I have this idea. I'm thinking about doing a wedding publication, but I'm not really sure where I want to go with it." And I said, I would love to do a local publication, but I also want to do something on the national scale too. So like I said, nothing serious, but just let me know what the pricing is and how long it takes and just logistics. So she hangs up the phone, and long story short, she gets a text from Katie Selvage like minutes after I had gotten off the phone with her, and Paige had known that Katie was wanting to sell for about 2 or 3 years, but just couldn't find the right person to sell it to. So Katie said, I thought about Bronwyn, but I'm not really sure. She's so busy with the ranch, and Paige having attorney-client privileges, she's like, oh, I really want to say something. So she just simply texts back, "You should take her to lunch and see. You never know." So, fast forward the next day, Katie invites me to breakfast, and I thought she was going to ask me to speak at Editor's course, which she held out at Spain Ranch, the in-person retreats at the Black Barn. And so I was really excited, thinking, she wants to have me speak. This is super exciting. And so we sit down at the table, and eventually she says she wants to offer Cottage Hill to me if I'm interested in buying it. And tears start streaming down my face immediately. It was so embarrassing. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" And I said, "Yes, I'm fine. This is just so crazy because last week was the first time I'd really seriously told anyone about any steps moving forward in a publication business. And I was essentially just waiting for a sign. So this moment is just giving me chills up and down my spine, and this is my sign, and it was a crazy moment. So I got really emotional, really embarrassing, but I got in the car, called my husband, and I said, barely through sobbing, could barely get it out, but I said, "John, my entire life just changed in the course of a breakfast." And that was that. We started contract work and everything with the attorney, and we ended up closing on September 26th. And then in the meantime, I was able to announce that I was starting an Oklahoma wedding publication, a local one, while I was in New York for Bridal Fashion Week, which was really cool. And then on the 6th anniversary of Cottage Hill, Katie announced her departure, and the next day I announced that I would be replacing her as the owner. So a little bit about me. I have been in the wedding industry 6 years, and really fell in love with actually social media curation for the venues that I designed. I fell in love with that. I fell in love with writing. I fell in love with telling stories about couples and seeing real emotions on their wedding day. I actually have been doing a lot of day of coordinating for the past 4 years, and just fell in love with love stories, and noticed that there's really a hole in the market as far as telling real people's love stories, and kind of shifting the focus a little bit more towards the reason why we get married, instead of all of the frivolous extras and add-ons and pretty things that we post on social media. So of course, humans are innately attracted to aesthetically pleasing things. But I think that meaningful stories can coexist with aesthetically pleasing graphics and design, along with true love stories. So that's my purpose in the wedding side of things. All of that said, I'm not going to be doing just weddings for this publication. I want to carry on Cottage Hill's legacy and expand upon it too. So the reason that I have actually rebranded and renamed the business is because of that expansion. So Cottage Hill, it is officially B Publishing. So B.E, but you say it as B Publishing. And underneath B Publishing in 2020, there are going to be 4 print publications coming out. And so those topics are going to be home, travel, weddings, and wellness. And those are going to be home, be away, be wed, and be well. So that might make a little bit more sense. As far as editor's course goes, which is Katie's course for entrepreneurial creatives, that is going to be housed under a new educational wing called Be Driven. And that is going to host editor's course. It's going to host mastering Instagram for creatives, and it's going to host more courses in the creative industry as well that are going to be released next year. So I'm super excited for the expansion. If you were wondering what the local bridal publication is called, it's called Be Wed Oklahoma. And I am in full swing of production for that right now. Submissions are actually open on our website, and we are seeking submissions in those 4 topics I mentioned earlier, but it's not limited to just those. We are planning on expanding to more topics in the future. I am so excited to be here. I'm so excited to hear your stories, to tell your stories. I'm just so excited for this opportunity and so thankful for everyone who's followed along so far. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you're having a wonderful week.